Yesterday, we talked about living under the New Testament, not the Old Testament. However, it's not that we don't need the Old Testament. It's not that we shouldn't have to study the Old Testament. We most certainly should be studying the Old Testament. Romans 15:4 says, whatsoever things were written before were written for our learning, that we, through the patience and comfort of the scriptures, might have hope. So we have that verse letting us know that we do need the Old Testament. We need to be studying those things. They're written for our learning. In Second Timothy chapter 3, Paul tells Timothy in verse 14, he says, you continue in the things which you've learned and been assured of, knowing from when you learned them, that from childhood you have known the holy scriptures, which are able to make you wise through faith for salvation, which is in Jesus Christ. So the Holy Scriptures, that would have been the Old Testament. That was the old law. And Paul says those things were able to make him wise for salvation through faith, which is in Jesus Christ. So again, another passage showing us the importance of needing the Old Testament. And then lastly, Galatians chapter 3, starting in verse 19. It says, what purpose then does the law serve? Talking about the old law. It was added because of transgressions, till the seed should come to whom the promise was made, and it was appointed through angels by the hand of a mediator. Now, a mediator does not mediate for one only, but God is one. Is the law then against the promises of God? Certainly not. For if there had been a law given which could have given life, truly righteousness would have been by the law, the old law. But the scripture has confined all under sin, that the promise by faith in Jesus Christ might be given to those who believe. But before faith came, we were kept under guard by the law, kept for the faith which would afterward be revealed. Therefore, the law was our tutor to bring us to Christ, that we might be justified by faith. But after faith has come, we are no longer under the tutor. The tutor, the schoolmaster, the trainer, that's what the law was doing for us, to lead us and point us to Christ. But as verse 25 says, as faith has come, we're no longer under tutor. Faith being Christ. Christ has come. He was there, he's been revealed. So the old law is pointing us to Christ, and then he came. So yes, we most certainly do still need the old law, even though we are not bound to live under it, under the specific commands. We live under the New Testament commands. Hopefully that's been helpful to you. If you would like to study more about this, we'd be delighted to. Just please let us know. Give us a call at 843-553-5157 or email us at letthebiblespeak843@gmail.com.